everyone. We're here at AFA September, and it's a fantastic opportunity to be here. I am Shereen Brown, spouse of the Chief of Staff of the Air Force, and I've got a special guest here with me today. Her name is Carrie Molova, and she is the, get this, Chief Kindness Officer. I have a funny feeling this title is going to stick. So, I am really enthusiastic about the Air and Space Forces conference and what you're doing, the special activities that you're doing to support the forces and families. So can you share with us a little bit about what you've done over the past year with regards to your successes and some of the efforts you put into this?
I would love to talk about one of my favorite topics. I'm so proud of what AFA has done over the last year with establishing our F2 arm of AFA. We honestly had no idea we'd be here. I think 18 months ago. It really started with you launching the Five and Thrive initiative because, those aren't necessarily new issues, but it forms the discussions around the topics we need to be focusing on.
Great.
And so when that launched and we started having some talks at AFA was all in. And I have to say, sometimes I have to work with my bosses and I have to convince them of stuff. This might have been the easiest sell I've ever had to do. So AFA is all in. What does that mean, right?
Yeah.
So what do we do? And so first we wanted to kind of take a second and be like, how can we actually be value added in this? We don't want to reinvent the wheel. We don't want to create something just to say we're doing it. We want to do meaningful impact. And so we said, how is AFA unique? And what it really comes down to is a few things. One is, this is a part of our mission. Written into our mission is taking care of our airmen, guardians, and their families. And we believe that support leads to the mission effectiveness of the United States Air Force and Space Force.
Thank you.
That's why we exist. That's what we do. So again, easy check, easy yes, let's move forward. But also, events like this, we are able to integrate the conversations. We don't want to have these conversations happening in a side room or a separate event. Quality of life is everyone's opportunity to improve, right?
Yeah.
And so we wanted to bring everyone to the same table. And so with that, okay, all in. What do we do next? So we organize around 4 principal focus. Listen, amplify, connect, and build.
Wow.
So listen, I know I have a lot of great ideas, but I'm not the one that should be advising on what AFA should be doing for military spouses. I don't have the privilege of being in that role. So we created the F2 Task Force. And this is a group of just incredible Air Force and Space Force. I'm going to get emotional thinking about it. This group of spouses that have come together just looking for solutions and I get emails at 3 a.m. on weekends. They're doing so much already, but they said, we want to raise our hand and do more and support finding solutions to the quality of life challenges. And so they formed, and that was a year ago here.
Wow.
It was our first meeting. So we just had our second in-person meeting on Sunday, and we're very proud of everything. I'm so proud of them. And so they're really advising AFA on what can we do, how can we be meaningful, and it's just, candidly, it's been a blessing because it's also, I've just made so many personal friends out of it, and so I work harder because I want to be supporting them even more.
Of course.
So amplify events like this. We've worked really hard, and again, your support and your focus really helps us because last year we had, for the first time ever, 4 quality of life focus sessions integrated into the Aerospace and Cyber Conference.
Awesome.
Again, we have those same different sessions, but a dedicated 4 sessions again. You might have known somebody on the panel this morning. We have some great participation.
Yeah.
But again, it's amplifying and using the AFA network. We have 110,000 members.
Oh,
right?
Smokes, yeah.
And those are all people that believe in that mission to support our airmen, our guardians, their families. And so if we can amplify the Five and Thrive message or what the F2 Task Force says, what a great way to serve.
Awesome.
So Connect, we've been working, last night we had a great MilSpouse social.
Yay!
And it's fun, you know, people form connections that they need to make. And there's just something about bringing people together, and that's where you want to make the connections and then leave motivated to do more, or maybe commiserate a little bit, who knows? But we like to be forward thinking,
Yeah.
and really, one person might not know all the solutions, but you might have a glass of wine with somebody and, hey, this was my experience and this is what I did.
Exactly.
And finally, build. So we are still in the building phase, but this year we launched a grant program.
Whoa.
And AFA invested an initial $50,000 in quality of life initiatives at the local installation level.
Okay. Wow.
And that has just been such a blessing because we don't have a lot of rules around it because it is a pilot program. You know, we want to fill in the needs of what's something that it might be a MilSpouse, it might be a service member that's saying, hey, I really think I could do X to improve the quality of life. I just need a little bit of help to get started.
Right.
And so a great example of that is the Vance Spouse Space. We provided 2 grants to them to really start up the program. They did a great MilSpouse Appreciation Day event. And that's a co-working facility where spouses are coming together, but it's turned into so much more. It's education sessions, things along those lines. We're doing a lot of programming focused on EFMP families. We provided childcare at existing events. So we didn't create the event, but people couldn't attend unless there were childcare, so we used grant funding to fund childcare. And I'll tell you, another exciting one is now we're working overseas and we're supporting a spouse employment effort on Okinawa. And so AFA provided the grant funding through F2 so that they could do 2 different events to really collect feedback. Again, it might not be the solution, but it's collecting the feedback from the MilSpouses that are affected that want to be part of the solution and back to the Amplify.
That's fantastic. Oh my gosh, I know. You just hit so many different points there, from being able to reach out to your bosses, and they were on it. They were like, let's get it done. And then you were able to bring a program together with 4 key issues. And so with that, where do you see yourself going? What are your visions for the next year and down the road?
As it says, I know. Well, I don't have all the answers, but you know, over my daughter's bed, it says dream big. And that's like what I think. You know, we don't want to have too many restrictions. We want to stay open-ended. We don't want to create something and then it's not the right solution. We want to try to keep these grants open. I'm hoping to expand the grants. I am waiting on my budget for this year, but I have a lot of friends helping me out, and our AFA board is so supportive. But I'll tell you, this task force that's leading the efforts, we're going to do great things. I'm so proud of them, and I've never had the privilege of wearing the uniform myself. I'm not a military spouse, but I've worked at AFA for the better part of 20 years, and I feel like this is my chosen family, and I think everyone feels that we're working together for this chosen family.
That's awesome.
And that's why we're going to make a difference, and I just can't wait to see what we do. And it all started with you.
Oh, you're so kind. But I know what you're doing. We can feel that family vibe working through all of this to bring it to our audience. And with that, how can our audience help you with the task force kind of going forward?
Friends, show up. Help us come to our events, share our information on social media. You know, that's a lot of what we're doing is telling the stories. We might not have all the solutions, but the more that we can amplify the message, the good news, the challenges, then that's how we're going to go back and make the connections.
That is great. Carrie, this has been absolutely wonderful. I've learned so much about what you're doing, and I can't tell you, I'm so excited for where you're going. Like you said, we don't know where, but I think they have the flexibility to make it happen. So pay attention, see what they're going to be doing next, and you got to be tuned in to our Air and Space Force Association. Thank you, Carrie.
Thank you.